Hey folks, Gary Dean here with Sentiment Timing. This is our technical video report for Monday, February 23rd, 2026. So we saw the bulls get really bull rushed. I was a little shocked just because I knew the news. There was a chance that we were going to get some selling from the Supreme Court ruling against the tariffs and what Trump can and can't do. But that was kind of already known. It wasn't any kind of surprise. So when I saw the futures rebound from minus 58 to minus 20 when we opened, I kind of thought it was just kind of a big little flush, and then they were going to try to higher or just be down a little bit. But today was, it was some hard selling, but liquidity was moving up as price was moving down. So we had a little bit of a divergence, but then it just turned into a bloodbath at one point, especially for the small caps. And that I traded them terribly. And even with the software, I was following the wrong time period, and I'll go over all that in a little bit. But this is the S&P on the hourly chart, and we're back in the zone right now. So either the bulls are going to hold this ground. If not, then they have this is the last line in the sand before we need to take a look at the daily chart, and that's not what I'm looking for. And to really just find out where support is going to be on this, let me just remove these. There's too many of them on them. Okay, so this cleans up this chart a little bit. And what we're really looking at is you have the 67.78, which is the moving average here. And if it takes it out, then really the next line we're looking at is right around that 6,700. And then it opens the door for the 65.72. And this was not really in the playbook, so I was a little, we have to, the bulls still have room to, some wiggle room here. So they stopped at the first institutional, the buy pivot here. The next one below it's 67.90, and then we're coming down to Gann lines and the 78% retracement, which would close this gap here. But you're talking about another 100 points lower. So I'm not sure how many people are really going to like that. But in any case, we have, the bulls still have the chance on it where they blew through this support line, and you can see we had the Gann marker right here just below it, and we did see some buying at the end, and we had some bullish divergences right here. So we got to see how this is going to play out, because it's all in or all out. There's no follow through on either side, and it's frustrating. I mean, if you trade the ranges, it's great, but you keep thinking you're going to get that breakout or breakdown, and next thing you know, we're back up here. So we've in this drop from here, from this pivot to here, where we went a little bit below it, we still above the the panic line, let's say it. And if we have to take a look and see what the bulls have to get through, and you can see they have a ways to go to get into the resistance here. So we have 68.68, and then the 68.80. If they get above it, then we're looking at a move up to the 68.90. But right now, like I said, we have some buy signals here, so it wouldn't be surprised if we fell right onto the Gann line here as far as time-wise. So if we saw some buying, that would actually fit the profile. But like I said, when you have this fear in the market with things that can be changed overnight, and I think if you saw the S&P down another 150 in 3 days, Trump is going to come out and say that he's pausing the tariffs or something. He doesn't like to see the stock market down, and I don't think he thought they were going to react like this, but this is what happens, and he has to know when he says stuff, the market's going to pay attention to it. So on the upside, we got to keep an eye on these levels here. If we actually take a look at IWM, which was a complete thorn in my side today, because if we look at the 5-minute chart, software, we were kind of doing a little bit of a whipsaw right here, and then we have this is our trend indicator right here, the red, and you can see that once that went below and we got this sell signal, it never gave us a buy signal until here, so it kept us out of trouble. But the problem is we got a bounce, and then it went lower on it. And by the time we got this bounce up here, it wasn't really helping us out too much, because we were getting into the 260 calls. I mean, it made it a little bit above. We lost a little bit of money on that. But overall, the trading-wise was not I didn't really follow it too good, and this is the reason why. So it really wasn't a 5-minute chart that got us in trouble. If I followed this, everything would have been fantastic, but I was, for some reason, following the 1-minute chart just because it was working so perfect on Friday that I said, why not just keep doing what we're doing? So when we had the whipsaw here, I wasn't doing anything, started going down, and you can see we right around in this area here, we were getting some buy signals on the histogram there, and here was our buy signal, and I jumped in on it thinking that we were coming up to the 262, and again we just kind of went down and down, and we finally turned green here, but the bulls had a really, really hard time, and the S&P, the IWM closed down 1.5%. So it's not really what I was expecting today, and it's a learning lesson too. We just developed this software, and there's got to be things in place where if the 5 is not on a buy, then you got to almost ignore the ones and give up, especially when you're in volatile days like this. You got to just pay attention to longer time periods on it, because the 1 minute's going to get you in trouble, and it did on me, and it was something I didn't like. We still finished the day okay, but this was primarily because I got into a SLV call position on Friday, and that really helped everything out, because we would have had a red day. Not crazy red, but we wouldn't have been good. But even the quantums actually held up pretty good today overall. But it really was IWM that was the thorn in my side, because it was so easy on Friday with these buy and sell signals that today was, like I said, if I would have just followed this one, which I didn't, because I was really looking at this support to hold, and I didn't pay attention to the software. We were in a sell mode here, and we didn't get the first buy until the S&P was some 7 points, 6 points lower at the time. So this was my mistake. It was a self-imposed on it. Software did what it was supposed to do, and it just I didn't pay attention to that, and got us in a couple bad situations with it where it was I wasn't sure where we were going. But in any case, if we head up, we're going to keep, this is the support zone. These are the upside targets. For IWM, they're really going to have to get it above this level right here, the 262. If they do, then they're coming up to a target that I thought they were, which was when we were taking these trades, that I thought we were going to come all the way back up to the 263. But there's definitely some work to go. We have to see how the market digests this this tariff news, the government being shut down. Nobody's really helping us out up on the hill there. But in any case, let's see what plays out tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.